Don't forget, as always, that we love you. And Dane,
Thank you for listening.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Dane sends his love. He couldn't make it tonight, had to call an event, but that's okay. I get to do my favorite part, and here in a minute, bringing on some guys I've been tracking down for a long time. Let me tell you a little story. I grew up, playing music, obviously. Tried my thing at music, and nowhere near like these guys, but there's this band. I pulled up this CD one day. Back in the day, we'd have CDs. We'd actually go in stores and listen to CDs with headphones. Kids wasn't on Spotify. You couldn't just digitally do it. Had to listen to it. And I heard this song called Woohoo. I'm like, it's got kind of like this tub thumper kind of Chumbawamba thing going on. What is this? And I'm like, Newsboys, who are these guys? Oh my gosh, these guys are great. So I pull this catalog and they have like 30 albums. They've been doing this forever. This great catalog of music, pop, songwriter, kind of got some Beatles influences, even some of that more prog rock stuff. They do it all. Ever since that, I was hooked. Recently, obviously, you guys are familiar with Newsboys. I was able to track down Adam, who's doing a great job, kind of the 3.0 of Newsboys, if you will. I was able to get Adam and Jeff from the Newsboys on the show. So got my fanboy stuff out of the way. I want to get right down to it and bring on these gentlemen. Adam, Jeff, how you doing, my friends?
Doing
Great.
great, thank you.
Hey, Adam, how you doing, man?
Good, man. Thanks for having us on.
Yeah, man. I want to do a little. Again, I know you're busy. You guys have a lot going on the tour. The new song is great, by the way. Just listen to over and over, kind of been on repeat. You're killing it on the vocals, Adam. I know it just dropped the 14th. How You Love Me. That was a great job, man. Dropping that new track. I'm gonna start with you. Your first question, Adam. I'm going with you. Obviously, you've been doing this for a long time. You're doing a great job, kind of fronting the Newsboys, doing this well. Obviously, many projects. You're no stranger to songwriting, no stranger to singing. The stuff you've done behind the scenes with them, the band stuff, but this career of Adam has been ever evolving. Take me back to when it began, man. Maybe your first gig or when you first got the itch to play music, writing. When did Adam the singer start? If you will?
Well, I played sports growing up, and I was actually laid up with an ankle injury when I was 19, and so I picked up my dad's old dusty guitar that he hadn't played in a long time, and kind of picked out some chords. And my friend who was in the same youth group as me, we went to the same church right down the street. His dad showed me some chords, and he was a drummer, and so as soon as I could switch chords fast enough, we started playing together and playing in youth group band. And I started writing songs, and we wrote together, and just I didn't know what I was doing, but we just
Yeah.
we just kind of did it.
That's awesome, man. So kind of like the your version started with the youth group stuff. That's cool, man. Do you still have those old demos out there anywhere of like your early recording days of the
Well,
OG Adam?
we've got stuff going all the way back to like 1999.
Let's go.
And but not the process back then was a lot more involved to actually get something recorded. I can't imagine if we had phones and we could just do all the voice memos and stuff like we can now. I mean, it took a lot of work to get something actually recorded.
So 25 plus years of awesome crafting your skill set and all that. I love it, dude. Well, I just kind of wanted to see where you started. That's cool. Jeff, question two, man, kind of evolving too. Like I said, man, I've been watching you play piano for a long time and keys. Been kind of one of my muses, man, honestly, watching you play, Jeff. Take me back, man. Obviously, in the days of playing, you've done so many gigs. Your career is huge. I know you can't do maybe just one, but is there maybe one or two, Jeff, maybe gigs or venues you play that just like stand out as being that's my favorite so far, you know?
Yeah, you're right. There's so many. Sometimes we try to figure out how many we've played over the years because it is so many. Like I've been in the band for 31 years. So even if you average like 150 shows a year, which would probably be about right. I mean, what are we talking? I'm not a great at math, but 3,000,
Thousands, yeah.
shows, thousands
Yeah.
of shows. So it's a lot to choose from. But I think some of the ones that are just like so where you're just in such a bizarre place that you shouldn't be playing a show. Those are the ones I probably remember the most, like playing in St. Petersburg, Russia for the first time, or Poland, or playing in the Middle East and Israel or Morocco. We're like, or even in China where we went in like 2009 and did 5 shows there, and playing in front of people that had never even seen a rock concert before, never seen rock and roll in front of their own eyes. So those would be some of the ones, but man, we
That's
could do a
cool.
10 part Netflix documentary about all that.
The evolution of the shows, I get it, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
So some of the Nashville people we talk to, I don't know if this is they say like the Ryman, the Bluebird, some of those kind of small. And so you ever played there? Or do those stand out to you as well? Or
Yeah, we're blessed to live in Nashville. Obviously, there's those classic places like, yeah, the Ryman or the Roxy in LA, the places
gotcha.
that have all the history and they're a little bit sweaty and dirty, and you can see people face to face right in front of you and like see all the reactions that they have to the show in real time. Those are fun, and the big ones are fun too, where like like shows like Creation Festival in the 90s when it used to have like 85,000 people at it, and they're all excited, screaming before you go on stage. I mean, those are just they're
So
special
cool.
moments. You don't take any of those things for granted. That's for sure.
Man, so cool. And the story is continuing on, the next chapter, like you said,
Yeah.
30 plus great years and only getting better and better, man, as the way I see it. So that's awesome. It's good to hear. Adam, kind of evolving back to you, man, for question three. When I hear your style, it's cool because you've had Peter and Phil and Tate have all kind of brought their own spin lyrically and musically. And now you've got this kind of cool hip. I feel like I hear this kind of like Philip Phillips, a little bit of like Mumford, but your own tune. You've got this style that's different from anybody else, Adam. But I'm curious, maybe who's influenced you. What's maybe one or two artists that you go to as a muse for you, if you will?
Yeah, it's funny because I grew up listening to all the hair metal stuff. Like I was a big Def Leppard and all that kind of stuff. I love Def Leppard and those guys, and then evolved into some of the punk rock stuff like Green Day and Blink 182, and that really
Yeah.
shaped what we did with Stellar Cart. And then I just really love the songwriters now, like Ed Sheeran,
Yeah.
and even some of the stuff from Coldplay over the last couple decades. Really enjoy that, and I think I've always listened to country too. I was a big Shania Twain fan back in the day,
Okay.
probably because it was Mutt Lange producing it, who did Def Leppard, and so I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
So I think that influenced my style, and I don't know. Sometimes I write a lot. I write 90% of what I write on an acoustic guitar, and so sometimes it just comes out country. And I guess living in Nashville for 20 years, maybe everything starts coming out a little country, and so I think there's a little bit of that influence. Just lyrically, a country lyric it hits pretty hard, and so
Yeah. Yeah.
I've always written kind of pop and a little bit in country, and then I think you pair that with the sound of Newsboys, which is always evolving, but it's got a little bit of that throwback, but try to do something fresh. And so you throw in my style with Jeff's style and Duncan's style and Jody's style, and you kind of get this
One of
really
a kind, man. Yeah.
interesting mixture of all of our different favorite genres of music. And so that's kind of you can kind of get a little bit of that on this new
I
project.
love it. So are we gonna hear some country? Can we hear some Newsboys country? Can we spill the beans or no, we're gonna have some of that
You
or
know what? You know what's funny is the song that I wrote that Toby Mac recorded and he wrote on it as well. Promised Land was actually a country song. I wrote that
love
as
it.
100% a country song. But yeah, he turned it into his own flavor and made it great.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, so he didn't say no, you guys out there listening. He didn't say no to country. So on the Newsboys project, so we'll see where it goes. I love it. So
That's
I'm,
gonna
I'm
have to
not going
go
to hold
through
you
a
to it.
lot of checks and balances and people to
I
have that
love it.
happen. I don't know.
I love it, man. Well, again, I love the sound. I love the way it's like I said. I've seen obviously every version play. I've seen Tate with the band. I've seen Joel, Phil, and Peter, and I can't wait to see. I've watched you online play. I can't wait till you come near closer to Kansas so we can see you play. I'm sure it's going to be great. So, Jeff, kind of swinging back to you, man. Obviously, being the OG as we like to call it, and still going strong. The new album's coming out. I know you guys just dropped Worldwide Revival, and then now the new single, "Oh How You Love." How many times? Excuse me. Obviously, with what's next for Newsboys, with maybe what you can share, what you can't share, what's the next 12 months looking like for you as an artist or as the band? Where are you guys headed the next year?
Yeah, I mean that's actually a great question, and it's something we ask ourselves quite a bit over the last couple months. With bringing, Adam's been on board. He's been in
Yep.
the band for this third year now, but as lead singer for just a couple months, and so now it's like it's kind of a very interesting time because the sky is the limit. Like I
Yeah.
feel like we're very optimistic and like feel like there's like everything's in front of us now. And it's been interesting, like going back down to a four piece and just being super efficient and just tightening up our show and just actually, like Adam and I, we've just been I wouldn't call it like house cleaning, but as like a unit, we've just been going through just saying, hey, how can we improve? Like feel like a lot of times bands like us, you've been around for a long time, and I'm always asking myself, like, the bands that have been around and are still making great music today
Yeah.
mean something. How can we be one of those? Like, not just settling for what we've done in the past. And so, yeah, man, it's something we talk about every day. Adam and I are constantly talking about it. I think we're very similar in that we're both, I would say, borderline OCD when it comes to the show, and perfectionist a little bit. So I'm
Okay.
excited to see what this new era brings us. I think already it's been pretty awesome.
Are we gonna hear any Jeff vocals on the new album, you think?
I
Hopefully.
give you what I got, but I'm not
Yeah.
really a singer. Like, that's what I tell the guys in our front of house guy and our song. I'm like,
I love it.
I'll give you what I got, but I can only give you what's inside my body. I wasn't blessed
Love
with
it.
amazing voice or anything like that.
Can't wait, man. I'm sure it's gonna be gold, like you said. Yeah. Perfection. I see what you mean, though, man. I mean, and it's cool to see like some of the stuff, like you said, from like the OG days, like even looking at like Shine to like Going Public to this now. Some of that '90s stuff's coming back, and now you guys are now the like you're watching this groundswell of people that kind of want to follow your style. It's kind of nice to have the
Well,
neck.
it's very interesting that you say that, because when Tate departed, I can't tell you how many DMs and messages and texts I got, and it was like, "Don't quit, keep going. You
Yeah.
were this in my life, or you were this part of my life."
Yep.
And it's like, I think a lot of times, like, even hearing what you said yourself is so encouraging, because people are like, "Don't quit. You're like the only surviving people
Yeah.
from this era. You're like an ancient artifact. We need you."
I know.
So it's cool. So like we don't take that lightly at all, and we love what we do. In fact, our show is kind of like that now, because like you're talking about some of those older songs, which our show is right now is kind of a show in three parts, where we play a lot of the old, like the pop stuff, and then the middle part of our show is like this crazy kind of off the cuff medley where we just play, like OG stuff like Shine, Breakfast, all the classics.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like, it's incredible. The fans just lose their minds. They love that stuff. And some of those songs are like 30 years old. And then we get to do like another set at the end of our show, which is like a lot of the newer stuff that we're doing too. So we don't even have an opening band right now. We just play.
Awesome.
We play
That's
until we
awesome.
get tired, and then we leave.
It's
Yeah.
so funny, man, because like the way you said about the different genres, and I'm sorry I'm rambling, Adam, but the genre is like my wife, my daughter, and I, we all know you from different genres. My
Right.
daughter's like, oh, it's the God Not Dead guys, and my wife's like, oh, it's the Joy guys. I'm like, no, and I go back and I deep cut the catalog, so it's cool what you're saying about the different time frames. You're also the only guy I've ever seen, man. When the last time I saw you live in Kansas, you guys came to the Winter Jam. The only dude I've ever seen play piano or keys like up elevated off the ground. You were like floating and doing this kind of Darth Vader thing. So.
I don't know
Impressive.
what we were thinking with that. I'm just glad I'm still alive. But
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
funny how short people's attention span is now, because like I would be like it'd be like 10:30 at night, crowd's been there since 6, they're getting tired at Winter Jam, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm on this crane like flying over people's heads, and like a kid will look at me like right above his head flying through the crowd, and he's like, "Oh, that's cool." And then he's back on his phone. I'm risking my life for you.
You made the TikTok. You're gonna go viral. I love it. Man.
Right,
Cool.
exactly.
I love it. That's cool, man. Well, again, I can't wait. Whatever the next chapter is, I'm sure it's gonna be gold. I'm gonna hold you to that country thing, though, Adam. I'm not gonna let that go, Adam. So the next segment, you guys, I guarantee you, in all the media, all the things you've done, I promise you, we've never had a segment like this. We're about 300 episodes deep with this show, and we have a segment, sometimes fan oriented, called Rapid Fire. Now, what this is, you don't have to answer quickly, but we give you two choices. We kind of have like a Family Feud. Me and Dane will kind of bet lunch on what we think you guys are going to say. It's a personality test designed about you. We have 6 kind of pop culture questions. Nothing's off limits. You can go back in time. Reality doesn't exist. It's just 6 questions about your personality. So when I give you these questions, go with your heart, pick the right, whatever you feel is right, and I'll tell you if I got the right answer by betting on you. Okay. That kind of makes sense. 6 questions. You both get 2, so we'll go back and forth. Go with your heart, and I'll tell you if I got the right answer, if I picked you right. So, Adam, I'll start with you, being the singer stuff. So they're taking Adam, as you're known now, the 2025 Adam, and the products you've done. They're transferring you back into 1986. You're just, wake up one day like Terminator, you're there. And they say, hey, 2 of these guys needed to leave to fill in for the night. Need you to be the frontman for the night. Both of them do. You can tag team with Hall & Oates, or you can tag team with Tears for Fears, Adam, to be the other guy. Which way are you going?
Wow.
Yeah.
That is tough. I think I'm going to go with Hall & Oates.
Go. Let's go. I had you. I really did. I had you.
Too many great hits, man.
Yeah. I could just see you kind of what I want. I could see you out there just kind of doing your thing.
Oh,
You know?
no doubt.
Could you grow the mustache, dude? Could you do it and maybe rock the mullet?
I could. It's scary. I could do it.
Let's go. I dig
I
it,
can
man.
see it.
Yeah, let's do it. So next time you're on tour, man, if you want to do the mustache thing, I'll take credit for it.
Yeah.
So next one, I go for you, Jeff. Question 2. 1990-ish, we're going to the Shine era, and both of these, it's kind of common, and you mentioned it with the Toby Mac thing, how he did like Promised Land with Sheryl Crow. Recently, Jelly Roll did a song with Brandon Lake. Kind of mainstream artists want to kind of get a piece of the pie, you know, they like what we're doing. So you're back making Shine, and for the B-side, I guess extra version, if you will, these two groups say, hey, we'd like to record a remix of Shine with you. They both approach you. Run DMC approaches you. They say, hey, we'd like to remix this with you. And so does, oh my gosh, Run DMC approaches you, and so does In Living Color. I'd like to remix this song with you. Run DMC and Living Color, remix Shine, which way you going?
Dang, I loved both those acts immensely in the 90s. Oh, you're killing me.
Yeah.
But like Run DMC has a special place in my heart. I'd probably go there.
Go. I knew it. I could just feel that, like turntables mixing it in, like the Shine. I could just see you kind of rocking
Kind
over
of makes
there.
sense. Yeah, I could totally see it.
I could see you kind of in a cool like bucket hat suit too, Jeff, kind of rocking for the music video. That'd be so dope.
Oh, I've done way worse. Yeah.
Way worse. I love it. Adam, kind of bouncing back to you. So obviously with Men of Faith and all that, this is one that they're allowing you to go back and play a concert. Check this out. In biblical times, you get to transport. You have a lot of teleporting questions, Adam, tonight for you for some reason. You get to teleport back in time to basically play a gig as this miracle is happening. You kind of be over there, kind of like doing your thing on the sideline with the microphone, just basically singing this miracle. You can be there to basically concert, however you want to say it, for the Red Sea being split, or you can be there to sing when the fiery furnace happens. Red Sea being split, fiery furnace. Adam, which way you going?
I mean, both very violent situations. Well, I would like to see. I think I'd like to see the Red Sea.
Okay,
that would be pretty wild.
I did not have that, man. I didn't. I had you for the fire furnace. I could just kind of see like this fire burns, kind of this weird, kind of.
Yeah, the pyro element is cool, but
So no worries, man. That's okay. But I could you go over there, maybe let your hair grow out, kind of do the Scott Stapp thing as it's blowing in the wind, and you're kind of singing as the Red Sea's parting and all that. It'd be so dope, dude. Yeah, there you go.
I could see Adam with the shofar actually. That would.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Let's
on
go.
top of a chariot.
Let's go. There you go, man. So that you heard it. So next one, Jeff, for you. They're calling you up. They want you to be a heavy part of the next album. After the 2025 release, they say, all right, your record label comes up, says, we want you to make a concept album. We want you to do most of the heavy writing on this. Concept album, check this out though. You have to make this happen with these two concepts. Very, very random concepts. You've got to write an album lyrically and make it cool about different types of lettuce or about different types of plastic. Or different types of lettuce or plastic. Concept album, which way you going?
Well, I mean, we've done a lot of VeggieTales songs already, so I'm gonna have to go with plastic.
I love it. I'm gonna wait for that. I want to hear it, man. So whatever that comes out, got you. I had the lettuce one, so I because of the VeggieTales stuff, so I got that wrong. Got you. I love it. 2 more, and then I'll be done with rapid fire. Adam, back to you for this one. They actually are asking you to use your powerhouse vocals, and you're going to be part of a soundtrack for one of these upcoming movies. Love them both. Great kind of family-focused series, but cool action as well. You get to kind of sing Kenny Loggins style, if you will, the cover song or the main song for the next Top Gun or the next Karate Kid. Which way you going, Adam? Top Gun or Karate Kid?
Man, I think I'm a Top Gun guy.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah.
I had you. Dude.
Yeah,
Got
I think
you.
that's Kenny Loggins. I'll do it. Let's go.
Let's go. I got you. The one I've gotten wrong so far is the lettuce one, Jeff. Thanks, man, by the way. So, and final question, Jeff, I'll swing this back to you. They're kind of doing a similar version of American Idol, The Voice, things like that, but they want to make it more of a Christian focus, Christian artists, things like that. So, Jeff, you get to be, of course, the host. You get the center chair and all that. You get to choose one of these two guys to be your co-host for the judging, if you will. Love them both. You can choose Bart from Mercy Me, or you can choose Kevin Max. Which way are you going? Who's going to be your partner for this judging competition?
Ooh, boy.
Both great voices.
They're both friends of mine. But I think I'm gonna go with the safe bet and pick Bart.
Let's go. Let's go. Yeah. But good, great voices. I think Kevin would have some cool, interesting feedback to give,
Kevin would want to sing. He doesn't want to judge. He's gonna be out there singing.
I love it. I had Bart as well, so good job. Well, thank you guys. That's something a little different. Hopefully, in interviews you've had before, nothing quite like that. A little different. So, thank you for that. That's rapid fire. Appreciate it.
It's great.
Man.
So, last question, because I know you guys are busy guys, and I'll have you kind of both, maybe if you will, both expand on this and part one and part two. Obviously, what you do, a lot of people look up to you. Jeff mentioned that influence, Adam as well, with Stellar Cart and what you're doing now. A lot of people will like what you do and want to be you one day. If you were to maybe go back and give your beginning selves or younger selves or someone that wants to be you one day, whether it's the ministry side or the musician side, they want to be you, what's a piece of advice you would give someone that wants to be you? Adam, if you want to go first.
Yeah, I'd say a couple things. I'm not sure about Jeff's situation, but for me, when I was first starting to play music, I had a lot of people tell me that I was terrible and that I should quit music and I should go get a real job. And even some people that were pretty influential in the industry. And so that was tough. And then also I played in a punk rock band, and so people told us that we were awful all the time. And then at the same time, you write a big song, and then everybody tells you you're amazing. And so, some advice I would give to somebody who's younger is don't let the criticism get to you.
Mm.
Just let it roll off you. And then the same with all the praise, and people puff you up and they tell you you're awesome and whatever, and just accept it and then let that go as well, because you can't get hung up on the highs and lows, and you can't get hung up on what people
Mm.
think about you. You can
Wow.
just accept it, and then you got to let it go on both sides.
Wow, that's good, man. I've heard kind of maybe the let the criticism go, but that's good to let the compliments go to you kind of stay grounded. That's very unique. I like that, man. That makes a lot of sense. That's good. And kids, you see kids these days, like they'll go viral, they'll be an athlete or something, and I think that they're just the it factor, because people tell them that, and then if they have a bad day, they don't know how to handle it. So that's very spot on, man. Kind of balance, stay in the middle, not too high, not too low. I like that a lot. It's
Yeah.
cool. Jeff, you want to bring us home, man? What's a piece of advice you could give to those out there?
Yeah, I think what Adam said was very true. And in fact, I have a similar journey in that my second piano teacher actually held a meeting with my mom and said that I should quit taking lessons and that piano was not for me. And so I started the criticism at an even earlier age than Adam did when it came to playing. But if I had to tell myself something in the past, I would probably say something to the effect of the skills that you're going to need to succeed in the music industry are not what you think. They're not mostly musical, actually. A lot of it's going to be perseverance, hard work, a thick skin. How do you handle living in a bus with 12 other people, like
Oh,
for an entire year? There are going to be a lot of social skills, a lot of you know, being grounded spiritually, being grounded as a person, and not thinking something of yourself that you are or aren't. It's a lot, like it's like what you think it's going to be, it's not going to be that at
wow.
all.
That's good, man.
But at the same time, never think that you've got it all figured out or you know exactly how it's going to go, because everybody's path to get to here, it's not a straight line. It's all kinds of crazy zigzags. And I mean, if you
Wow.
look at the last 3 months of Newsboys, I mean, even that's part of it. So like,
Wow, man.
you
Yeah.
just never know what tomorrow holds, and you got to enjoy the good times too. Because in this band, there's been seasons that have been unbelievably amazing, and there's been ones that have been really tough. So when you're having a great day, or you're having a good show, or you're in a cool venue that has a shower that has hot water, just enjoy it all, because you don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. And I know that COVID is something that taught me not to take a show or a day for granted, because we went from doing 150 shows a year to doing none in a year, and that was crazy. Like
Yeah.
as you realize a lot of stuff that you miss is not the stuff you would have thought.
Wow, man, that's you both gave such sound advice, like grounded, kind of keep it level, and then some of the people skills, because people forget, like when they see you on stage for an hour, even an hour and a half, that's a small part of your day. You're working first, second, sometimes even third shift when you know the bus, sound check, tuning, and all that. You're working full time and then some, and then you got to deal with people, and maybe if you're not wanting to be nice, you have to because it's that image to uphold. So there's a lot more than just kind of punching in for the concert, you know. So.
Oh yeah.
Wow. And then like I like how you said too on top of that, because successful musicians, it's another element too when you're bringing the God focus, because there it's almost acceptable for non, secular artists to sometimes be a little bit off-putting or rude. It's never acceptable, if you will, for someone who's got
Right.
God focus. So you have an extra level of expectation on you as well. So my hat
Yeah.
goes off to you doing it for so good for so long. So I appreciate that. So
Yeah, it's almost like being like parenting. You just sometimes you might not be feeling that great or having the best day, but you just got to put on a brave face and treat everyone with respect and dignity, and that's the least you can do, even if you're not feeling it for sure.
I love it. Well, Adam, Jeff, I know you guys are busy. Jeff, you still look like you're 15, man. So here's to the next 40 years, man, of doing this. I can't wait. Again, fans, we'll make sure that hopefully this is the first of many. I love what you guys are doing, Adam. I've been a huge Stellar Cart fan. I'm one of your fans of that as well. I do love the gigs that you did with that too. So guys, I appreciate you making the time to do this. Let's make sure it's not the last time. Can't wait for you to roll through Wichita. But assume when you're close, we'll hang out, buy some coffee. Guys, thank you for being awesome, making time to do this. We love you, and hope you guys have a great day. Much love to you both. Okay, so.
Thanks so
Good man.
much,
Thank
guys.
you.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate
Much
you.
love, guys.
All right.
So, guys, that's Jeff and Adam from Newsboys. I'm telling you, I know you know who they are. No introduction needed, but these guys are just epic. That's a bucket list item for me too. So I'm grateful I got the chance to do this and really track them down. Dane doesn't know what he's missing. So enough said. Left it on the track. They said it all. Thank you guys out there for listening. As always, don't forget that we love you. And as Dane would say, thanks for listening.